So, we were at lack of cause and effect thinking when we stopped. And when that doesn't work, traditional parenting like lectures, reminders, nagging, threats, if you do this, I'm going to do that. None of those things work because they don't understand. If I do this, I'm going to get in trouble. That is broken in them. Most school systems use a reward system that requires that to work. All of the reward systems, chips, stickers, points, whatever, require this part of the brain to work. So where it could work with a normal healthy child, it does not work with these children. And when I was first taught that, I was a clinical psychologist way back in the day, 150 years ago, and he said, oh, you just put stickers on the chart when your child does something right. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. Good job, put a sticker on. All right, that was nice, put a sticker on. There was less and less stickers going on by the end of the week. So I went back to the next appointment and I said, that's not working. He says, well, you must not be doing it right. I'm like, I'm too stupid to put stickers on a chart. This is not good. I should probably not be working with children if I'm that dumb. So I'm like, okay. He says, you got to do it with more gusto. You've got to have enthusiasm. Okay, all right. Push them on harder. Yes, I love it when you do that. Less and less stickers went on until there was none going on. I'm like, all right, this is ridiculous. So I'm like, there's something defective in my skill level. I need to take it up a notch. So when I'm going to learn something, I want to learn from the best. Okay, if I'm going to put my time into it, I want the best. So I looked up who invented this stuff, sticker charts and whatever, okay? B.F. Skinner. So all right, where is he? I'm going to go study with him. He's dead. That's not good. So I read his books, I read his life biology, I read all that stuff. I'm like, that's not helping. So I found Marion Breland Bailey, who has 3 PhDs. She worked side by side with him for 30 years. I figured, close enough to the master. All right. So I called her up and said, you know what? I work with these children. I need to understand these concepts better. I need better timing. I really need help. Can you help me? She said, yeah. For this much money, you can come and we'll work for 3 days. I'm like, I'm coming. So we did a whole day of lecture. I'm taking notes. She's explaining the concepts and the conditional, all the responses. Okay, got it. Until I had everything A+. She said, you've got it. Then we spent 2 days hands-on so that my timing was exactly right. So she said I had it A+. I'm like, all right. I'm going to get these children fixed up because the schools use it. They've used it for all these years. This has got to work, okay? I brought it home with my kids. The Border Collie, wow. 42 tricks, hand signals, within like a couple of weeks. It was like, wow. Because the cause and effect part of their brain isn't working. Not because I wasn't doing it right. So the parents are beating their head on the wall, trying to do techniques that everybody says, these work, they work, you must be doing it wrong. And they're not going, oh, wait a minute, this child's brain is hurt. We have to have a different toolbox. It's not bad parents, it's the wrong toolbox. At camp, we teach them the right toolbox. When the cause and effect part of the brain isn't working, they don't understand math. Math is all about you do this to this number and you get that. So they go into a math class in school and they feel like they are stupid and they hate math. And the parents make them do it and make them feel stupid and they fight and they blow up because their brains hurt. So I found another clinical psychologist in Hawaii that will help the cause and effect part of your child's brain for $150 an hour. Very successful at it. I'm like, score, what is it he does and how does he do it? I need to help that part of the brain. For $150 an hour, this great man will play Legos with your child. I am so smart. I figured out my children can play Legos for free.
Yes.
So we got buckets of Legos at all the garage sales, put them through the dishwasher to get the boogers off of them, and my kids played Legos every day for 30 minutes and built a centerpiece for the dinner table and healed that part of their brain. So at camp, we teach the parents how important Legos are to heal the brain for free at home. They don't have to go to Hawaii, but for the children, we should go to Hawaii to study with some great
I
people.
think so.
you know, because it's important to our heart. Lack of conscience. They don't feel bad. They steal your stuff. They, you know, break your things. They pee in your favorite houseplant. They hurt your dog. They don't feel bad. They can't. They're broken. That part of the brain is developed by relationship. That first year cycle we talked about, that's where it starts. And theirs got broken. So they have no conscience. They can go to school with a gun and shoot a whole bunch of kids. And like, I hope I make it on the front cover of the paper. So we teach the parents how to build a conscience. And what's the first step? Establish respect. Abnormal eating patterns. They don't eat because they're hungry and stop when they're full. They don't. They do the, I don't eat salad. I don't eat this. They have a list of what they won't eat that's this long, a list of what they will eat that's that long. They come to camp, we don't do lists. They're eating what we have. And I tell the parents there are no snacks, none. Because they're like, I'm not eating that. There's vegetables in it. I'm going to have a fruit bar. No, you're not. Okay, you can't live on that stuff. So they don't have, there's no way they can steal food. There isn't any here. We do have a load of sugar for the hummingbirds. I got it. Anyway, during class, I have them all pick 2 foods that they don't like. Everybody has a couple foods they don't like. Don't give me jalapenos. I can't choke them down. Wasabi. Okay, I'll eat octopus and rattlesnake, but I can't do jalapenos or wasabi. Not real hot on Brussels sprouts either, but I'll eat. Okay, so everybody has a couple things they don't like. I respect that. That's okay. Kids don't go for mushrooms sometimes. So they get to pick 2, not 2 food groups. I don't eat salad. Okay, and what we do here at camp, here's a salad bar. The parents make a salad for the child. They don't get their meal till they eat the salad. Not an option. Abnormal eating patterns is standard. They either eat all of it so nobody can have it, or they won't eat any of it because mom started loving it and they're not ready for that. So it's all about pleasing their royal palate instead of feeding their body. And here, it's about feeding their body. Poor peer relationships, they don't have friends. The kids don't like them because they're bullies, they're bossy, they're intimidating, so they don't have friends. Until they build a relationship with their mom and their dad, the other children will not accept them. But once they get that piece healed, then they can generalize that connection to friends and care about the friends, and the friends care about them, and then they know what it is. Otherwise, they don't even understand what a friend is. Judy's son came one day and said, I don't have any friends. I said, well, have you tried being nice to them and sharing and letting them pick the game you're going to play sometimes and everything? He's like, well, if I have to do that, I don't want a friend. Okay. Got it. He wasn't ready. He has friends now. Preoccupied with fire, blood, and gore. They're drawn to the dark side. They do art with knives with blood dripping, and you know their stories have gore in there and stuff. They're just drawn that way, not to butterflies and rainbows and happy clouds. We love Bob Ross. All right. Persistent nonsense questions and chatter. That wears parents out. The little mouth just going. So we help them here. They don't do that. It's not healthy for them. It's not appropriate. They aren't going to get a job with their mouth running like that. So when they're with us, we don't tell them stop talking, which is a negative. We say, I want you quiet. So we tell them what we want. We don't say what we don't want. Because they're oppositional, if you say, stop doing that, they're going to do it more. Okay, so we have to, I want you to do this is the best way to word that. And questions, the nonsense questions, we call them dumb questions. But I work with a lot of schools, I do in-service trainings and stuff, and they're all like, there is no such thing as a dumb question. I'm like, you haven't met my kids, hello. And Judy's son, Ryan, he's brilliant and dumber than a rock all at the same time. And one day he was doing a chore in the kitchen, and I said, he asked me some dumb question like, is this your stove? And I said, so Ian, what's the difference between a dumb question and a good question? In a split second, without pause, he said, a dumb question is one I already know the answer to. I'm like, that is the perfect definition. Exactly right. So the questions, they will ask dumb questions, or they will ask controlling questions, or, you know, they get a plate of food. Is this spaghetti? That's an excellent question. You tell me 3 ways you can figure out what that is. Could smell it. All righty, what does it smell like? Spaghetti. All right, good. What else you got? I could look at it. What does it look like? Spaghetti. All right, what's the third one? I could taste it. All right, what does it taste like? Spaghetti. There you have it. Okay, so I turn it back to them. Who's working harder on that problem? They are. They're building their skills, not wearing me out. So be careful. It's one of their symptoms of pathology, and we need to handle it right or we make them worse. And they're wearing their parents out with that stuff. Just the chatter is, we just call it the Barbara Walters symptoms because they're just reporting the news. So it's like there's glasses on the table, there's a camera there, the fan's turned on, the sun came up this morning, there's a cow, the light's on, she has shoes on, there's a water bottle. They just see it and say it. There's no sharing thoughts, sharing feelings. Okay, that's why we communicate, to share thoughts, share feelings, and gather information. That's what we use our words for. They don't. It's just reporting the news. Okay, and that is how, and the reason they do it, they have flashbacks. 90% of the children with reactive attachment disorder have PTSD. It's how they got the rat, okay? But with straight PTSD, you don't have the cue charm. With the rat, you do. All right, so they have flashbacks. One study they did it in a normal classroom setting, where it was public school, they were just in class, and they had, I don't know if it was neurofeedback, QEEG, or whatever, but they had the children monitored, and they could see their stress level. And when they went off the charts, they could tell they were having a PTSD episode somehow. The children with PTSD averaged 15 times a day they had a flashback, reliving their worst moments of their life, the rape, the beating, the moment they were taken by social service with their birth mother screaming, all of it, 15 times a day. Okay, so your brain is flashing this stuff, and you got to get to stop because it's awful and you don't want to remember it. So they make white noise, like people buy a machine so you can sleep, make white noise. I see a camera, there's a bottle of water, she has shoes. That's to block the flashbacks, okay? So their heart is full of so much fear. It's the fear of dying from when they were a baby that nobody came. That's a lot of fear. Or grief. And they're afraid to cry, because if they start crying, they're just going to cry till there's nothing left of them. So they can't cry, or they'll die. So their heart is so filled with that they just keep this going. It's all blocked. So we get them to shut up, okay, to be quiet. What's going to happen? Yeah, we created a volcano. The heart, all those feelings, the brain, all those memories is all boom. The Archie blows and the stuff comes out. And that's okay, it needs to come out. But we need to know we just created that and that we're going to have volcanic action. And when they clean out, they give us a lot of information about what was hurting them so much. We don't try to make them blow up. We don't provoke children to make them blow up. Okay, but they have to build skills as an adult, and they can't do that in an office or in a job or on a date. Those are not appropriate social behaviors, so we have to help them to stop them. But we also need to be aware what's going to happen, because they were doing it for a reason. What's going to happen with that? And sometimes they do a major blow up here at camp, and they do it at home as well. And it's huge. They soaked with sweat, and they fight and they scream in hours. And then we get the parents to come in and hold them and fill them up with love. And it can often be a very big turning point where they've cleaned out and gotten rid of stuff, and they can open to the parents. So if they need to blow, we don't stop them. You know, if we can help them and they didn't really need to blow, they're just stressed, then that's okay. But sometimes they just need to blow, and that's all right. Inappropriately demanding and clinging. Can I have a hug? I don't know you're your stranger. Can I have a hug? Or mom's trying to talk to somebody. Can I have a hug? When mom tried to hug them all day long and they wouldn't let her. Now they need a hug because it looks good. Okay, abnormal speech patterns. Ooh, this is a really good one because here at camp, oh man, they play games. So they have to speak clearly to make it as an adult, to manage school. We have to be able to understand them. Many of them have been to speech therapy where they go in, they pronounce their letters right, they get a piece of candy, they go back to class. Years. Okay, normal children who have speech problems go to speech therapy, they learn and they move forward, and these children don't get any better. Year after year, there's no improvement because they don't want to speak more clearly. So it's a game. And when you talk to them, they say, what? Huh? And you're supposed to say it again for their viewing pleasure. I say, oh, I'm sorry you missed that. Go sit that back down. Oh, wait, you have to listen the first time? Oh, abnormal speech patterns. Don't repeat yourself. These are hyper-vigilant children. They hear everything everybody says, not only in this room, but in the next room. Okay, they heard you. And I'm loud because my husband can't hear, and I speak to large groups, so I'm loud, and I know they heard me. False allegations of abuse. This is a problem. Big problem. Because if they can say you did some sexual thing, or you said a racist or sexist or religious comment that's insulting, they will. So we work as a team. There's always two of us with each child, so they can't say we did something or whatever. We got a witness right there. Do not leave a team member alone with a child. We got to watch each other's backs because they're good liars, okay? So we keep each other safe. Don't leave one team member alone in the teepee with kids or at the table. If the people are all out in the field and you're right there on the grass alone with the child and everybody can see you, you're fine, okay? If they're all in the dining hall and you're walking across to an RV by yourself and there's all these people watching, you're fine, okay? But if you're behind the door, like in here, and other people are in there, make sure there's two team members. Be very careful with that, because if you don't give them their way, they know this is powerful and they can hurt you. Presumptive entitlement issues, that's a mouthful. That means they think they should have what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. And if you don't give it to them, then they make the false allegations. A little girl from Maine they gave me because she would steal knives and hack up the stairwells and the wooden paneling she said she was getting ready to stab her mom. Anyway, so they sent her to me. And the first morning she's there, she says, I want eggs, and I want toast, and I want the butter spread all the way to the corners, and jelly, strawberry jelly, and I want that all the way to the corners too. When I'm done with breakfast, I'm gonna play with my doll. And I'm thinking, oh, this child's about to have a rude awakening. This is not a have it your way, have it your way. No, I said, yeah, actually, we're having oatmeal. What? I don't eat oatmeal. I said, oh, you know what? I don't make children eat food they don't want. You can sit right here and play with the Legos while we all eat our oatmeal. What am I gonna eat? Oh, it's okay. I'll make extra at lunch. She didn't have a snack. That was it. At lunch, she's like, ew, I don't want this. I said, you don't have to eat it. My dog loves that. I ripped that plate out from under her, set it on the floor, the dog ate it. I said, you can sit right here and play with this other toy. Well, what am I going to eat? I said, oh, we'll have dinner in a few hours. I'll make extra. She ate dinner. You know? Like, no. And the American parenting system now is, what would you like to eat? they have children that have studied nutrition and know how much protein they need and how much calcium. It's so impressive. And that they can fill up their nutritional needs with hot dogs, chips, and a Coke is so impressive. They must have a powerful breakfast. That's all I can say. Why would we ask a child what the menu should be? I figure if it's good enough for my cowboy and I, it's good enough for the children. If I cook it and it's got way too much salt or I burned it or something, I'm like, they don't have to eat that. I don't want to eat it. They don't have to eat it. We're going to scrap it and do something else. But if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for the children and the dog. That's it. And that's like, what do you want to play? Where do you want to go? Really? That's fine for them to make choices about what they're going to do in their free time with themselves. There is no time a child should make choices about what their parents have to do. Where do you want to go on vacation? Well, if the parent's driving them and paying for it, why is the child making a decision? It's like, you know what? Your dad and I were thinking we'd go to Disneyland. You know, would you like to go with us? We would love for you to go. You can show us you're ready to go to Disneyland by being respectful to us for a month. Then we know you'll be respectful at Disneyland and we can all have a great time because we'd love you to come. If you don't feel like you're up for Disneyland, I respect that. I don't threaten them, but they're not going with us. They're going to respite. Anyways, triangulation of adult, they act different from one parent to another. They act very different for dad than they do for mom. So they're like, I hate you, Mom. You're terrible. You're mean. You're ugly. You're stupid. Oh, Daddy. Oh, Daddy, I missed you. Did you have a nice day at work, Daddy? And Dad looks over at Mom and she's like, and he's like, oh, sweetums, you know, why don't you and I go out and play ball? Mom looks like she needs a break. Dad thinks he's supporting Mom. Mom is like, really? I get tortured all day long by this child. I'm abused literally in my own home. And my soulmate, my lifetime partner, comes home, aligns with my abuser and abandons me. And the kid gets time with Dad and I'm left alone while the two of them are out having a good time. I don't think so. And Dad comes in, he's like, I take the child off your hands to give you a break. I come in and you're mad. What is wrong with you, woman? And the marriage is crashing and burning. They're a mess. They're not a team. It was a Michigan camp. We had, the children set the table during orientation, okay? I'm talking to the parents and you guys teach the kids all the brain shifters and that they have to work on respect. Table manners and stuff, we do all that. And then the children set the table, okay? And it's not just set the table. This, see that? It's an automatic measurement. On an adult, it's 1 inch long. On a child, it's not. But we teach them to measure. So they have to put their thumb on the edge of the table and the plate has to be in front of the chair, not cattywampus, in front of the chair, 1 inch from the edge. The fork has to be 1 inch from the plate on the left, 1 inch from the edge on the folded napkin, which is 1 inch from the edge, 1 inch. Then the knife, if we give them knives, 1 inch from the plate, 1 inch. The drinking cup is never picked up like this if it's, you know, a regular cup, because it's rude. Somebody has to put their mouth where their child's hands were. Cups are picked up by the bottom, okay? And it's placed 1 inch above the knife, straight. Okay, so they're in there messing around with that for a long time. And what was I trying to tell you? That's one of their first jobs at camp. Oh, yes, in Michigan at the camp. So I've got the parents, I get them all revved up. Who's gonna call flight check first? That means I need an intervention. Who's ready for changing your life? Who's ready to do this? Because they're scared. And they're not sure exactly what they're doing because it's crazy. And so I'm like, they're revved up. I got them in there. I said, and make sure you tell them how beautiful the table setting is because they've worked hard on that. So they get in there and Dad glances at the table. Oh, wonderful. You did such a terrific job, daughter. This is so lovely. And Mom looks at her place because, of course, if they're going to set one wrong, whose is it? Mom's place. And it's backwards. Flight check. Dad goes, oh, honey, You know, she was probably over on this side, and from the opposite side of the table, the fork is on the left and the knife is on the right. Mom is like, you never support me. You criticize every single thing I do. I can't believe you're standing for her against me again. And the two of them are building it up into a volume and red faces, and we got to scoot the kid out of there. The whole dining hall's doing this, and I'm like, and they do it at home, so you might as well watch what you look like when you do it. Anyway, I went with the little girl and got her processed, and somebody was on parent support, so they were working on that. So I got another room. She did brain shifter pretty quickly. I said, what happened? She said, I set my mom's place wrong on purpose. Good job telling the truth. What act of kindness you going to do for your mom to make it up to her? And you owe one to your dad, too. So she came up with a plan. I don't remember what it was. Rub lotion on their hands or something. So I said, all right, good plan. So I brought her back. I said, all right, look at your mom. Tell your mom what happened. Mom, I set your place wrong on purpose. I said, good job telling the truth. Get a hug from your mom, okay? So mom's giving her a hug, and while she was hugging her, before we even finished, I could see so much pain in her face. I didn't think she was gonna make it through, and I don't normally go off track, or off script, whatever it is. But I said, how scary is it for you when your mom and dad fight? On a scale of 1 to 10. 1's a teeny bit, 10 is you're so scared you think you're gonna die. She teared up more. She said, it's 100. I said, did you hear her, Mom? Yes, I did. Did you hear her, Dad? Yes, I did. I said, and what act of kindness did you want to do for your mom? Such and such. So what act of kindness did you want to do for your dad? Such and such. So she got hugs all the way around. We wrapped it up. But they act different from one to another. And if dad is standing with the sick child against his wife, whoa, it's bad. They will do it to us as a team. And you need to be aware. They'll do stuff like, I don't know if I'm going to mess up your camera here, but I got to get up. Okay. So let me role play with you, Heather, if I could.
Okay.
Will you be my guinea pig? Just roll with it.
Right here or over here?
Yeah. Oh, Miss Heather, could I work with you, please? Because Miss Michelle is very scary. Can I work with you, Kay? Who can you trust? No, ask me why I'm having a hard time with Miss Michelle.
And why are you having a hard time with Miss Michelle?
This morning I worked with her and she yelled at me. Yeah, she did. She yelled at me. And I'm scared on her. So why don't we go over and talk to Miss Michelle?
So let's go clarify with Miss Michelle.
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Miss Michelle?
Yes.
I'm scared on you because this morning you yelled on me. And then you say, I didn't work with you this morning.
I didn't work with you this morning.
Well, yeah, I forgot. Why are you so good at that? So they will try to get you. We start thinking, gee, Michelle looks like such a nice person. She must be intimidating the children when we're not looking. And we start wondering about each other, okay? And it's baloney. So when somebody's like they do their eyes. And it's like, oh, look, she really is scared. They know it looks like they're scared. It's an act. Okay, their body language is good. So bring them right to the person. Check it out. And, you know, if I was intimidating to a child and they come and you scared me this morning, I'd be, wow, I certainly didn't mean to scare you. I'm glad you shared that with me. Okay, but if I'm like, no, I wasn't, not very close on me. You want to run that by me again? Oh, never mind. No. Right. Okay, so be aware. They try stuff. They want to split us. They will go to their parents, and we've had them do it many, many times, and say, well, one girl in particular, they made me jump on a mini tramp for 4 hours and my legs are now broken and I can never walk again. They're so mean in the intervention room. And Mom's like, You were only in there 45 minutes, sweetheart. Oh, I forgot. Okay. I mean, and then they come to us, and one little boy said, what happened? My dad picked me up by my shirt, pinned me up against a wall. Right now in the dining hall? Oh, no. Right. So he wants to get me against Dad. Maybe Dad did it. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. It's not my problem or my business. Okay, but I don't think he did, because these children have said that I picked him up and that I starved him, that I beat him. That they, it's part of their stuff. So be aware. They're going to try to divide us from the parents. They're going to try to divide the parents from us. Don't send me to the function room. They're all mean in there. I'm like, it's so good, and my tongue won't work anymore. Parents appear hostile and angry because they are. Okay? When we get ready to adopt a child, we have a dream of what our life is going to be like with this child. The child's going to come, and we're going to run in the sunshine, and we're going to bake cookies, we're going to fly kites, and someday they're going to turn and look at us and say, thank you for saving us. And then they come in and they say, I hate you. I hate your house, I hate your food, I hate your dog, I hate your church, I hate your God, I hate everything that you care about. And we're like, this is not what I thought it was. This is not fun at all. I've been lied to and ripped off. And social services is real good at saying, he just needs love. It's just a period of adjustment. It will go away if you ignore it. No, it won't. It gets worse every year as it grows and they get sicker and they're missing their childhood. It's terrible. Okay, so yeah, they're angry. And then the school tells them they're bad parents. People in the grocery store give them hate looks. The people in church assure them they are doing it wrong until they're like, I don't even want to talk to anybody about this. The therapist's like, oh, well, you need to change. You need to have your own therapy. You have issues. I'm like, yeah, I didn't have them before I got the child, but I have issues now. Okay? So, it's okay. But, do you deserve to be yelled at? You got a raging parent screaming in your face. Do you deserve it?
No.
No, absolutely not. Don't take it. You say, I can see you are really upset. Let me get Nancy. Or Heather. Heather probably loves to get yelled at. I'm fine with getting yelled at. Okay? None of them are going to do what my first husband did. So, I can deal with a little yelling. So, yeah, the parents, if they're screaming at you, don't deal with it. You call me. Or you say, I can see you're really upset. Let me get Nancy and she can help you. Okay? Not necessarily, but they can at least vent on me and I'm good. I don't want you guys to have to take the vent. And a lot of times, you know what? They were mad before they even got here. And they just have to have somebody hear them. It's okay. And I just deal with it by going, Judy! Okay, so we're all on this scale at some point. On one end of it, we've got like Mother Teresa and Gandhi, where they love the poorest of the poor more than they love themselves. So that's one end of the spectrum that we try to reach for. Then the next one is supposed to say the normal American family, because we love each other, but we're also a little bit self-centered. I mean, it's part of being human. And then a little less attachment. Moving on down, we have the con man who can sell something that's defective and feel like he got one over on the idiot that bought it, okay? Then the next one is supposed to say 007, and that's like, he goes and shoots somebody for work, and then he goes out to dinner with some gorgeous chick that evening with absolutely no reaction to how many people he just killed. Okay, it's like, something's a little wrong with that. Okay, those two guys are dead. You want to go to dinner? All right. I mean, something's wrong. Anyway, my husband does love 007. His horse was named 007. Anyway, then on the far end of the spectrum, we have the robber or the hooker, because they both are about control. The robber controls with aggression, the hooker controls with pity. When we have siblings placed in the same home, birth siblings that came from the same trauma, one will become the aggressor, one will become the victim. And they do a yin and a yang, switching off in their younger years, and then they'll settle into the roles. The parents tend to get help for the aggressive one and not for the victim. With my daughter Beth, they put her in treatment and didn't get treatment for the little brother that she had victimized. So they just thought they would just love him and it would go away. Well, she healed because she got the help, and his life has been a disaster. Marriage after marriage, job after job after job after job, and no friends and a lot of drinking because he didn't get the help. He got hurt. Yes.
How many times do parents find out that they have an additional problem when they're here at camp?
About every camp. Yeah. So because they have a sibling group, the aggressor is the red bandana, they'll put a blue bandana on the other child. Well, they're in the blue bandana group, which is supposed to be children who cooperate and follow instructions, like a normal healthy child. They're not robots, okay, but they're fun to be around. And they get in that group and they're like not following directions, not listening, and we have to switch them to a red bandana so that they get more help. And the parents are often really surprised that, oh, we didn't realize, because they're so busy putting their time and energy into this one, they don't realize that one's flying under the radar. So keep your eyes open. If you see a blue bandana that's not a blue bandana, then we need to talk to the parents and switch them out. And a lot of the parents are like, you know what, I was kind of thinking he might be red, but a lot of them are surprised. And we had one mom that just burst into tears. Why wouldn't you just tell me she wasn't cooperating? I would have come and told her to cooperate. Okay, that sounds like a good plan, but anyhow. All right, so we got work to do. Who is who? Red bandanas are emotionally disturbed children getting most of the financial resources of the family, then most of the time and energy of the parents. The blue bandanas are the healthy sibling who is stressed and usually on the back burner, giving up a lot because the sick child has such big needs. They get very little time with their mom or dad, very little financial resources because the family's tapped out from all the treatments, the medicine, the vitamins. You were like $200-300 a month on food supplements, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just every level, special education tools, just every level, just draining. So when we were putting camps together in the year 2000, we talked about just having it, the parents just bring the sick child and the other children can go to grandma's or something. And it's like, no, wait a minute. Why do they get a week at camp when they are tearing the family to shreds? Bless you. Why are the healthy children left out again? So we put together a very special program for them to be able to be kids again. And I think, you were helping me in the dining hall. I remember that, but I was trying to think who said it. There's one of the girls that's a blue bandana that's 16 years old. And there's 6 children in the house. 2 of them are rad. What do you think that 16-year-old's life is like?
Hell.
Yeah. What do you think happens in her day?
She's either working for the family or ignored.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the Mennonite or Amish families. So highly likely she's like, mom is saying, would you please watch your sister? Would you please watch your brother? Can you please take her to do this? So she's not getting to be a child. She's having to be an adult. So at camp, we do not put them in an adult role. Here, watch your brother while you're here. We want him to be a kid. Laugh and run and play and be silly and make water balloons and do stuff. Okay, and Paul is amazing with that. You gotta spend some time with Paul. You will love Paul. And he's gonna be here this afternoon, so I love it. And he runs the Blue Bandana program because we have a special group just for them. And it's to honor what they give up, not make them you're a victim, but honor it. You do all this to help your family. It's so special. All right, and the Blue Bandanas really
Just a
love
moment.
you too.
What's the blue bandana's social life like at home?
Well, they're just go to your room because so-and-so's throwing a screamer and now mom's having to deal with it. Mom's so tired. Dinner's going to be late again because she can't cook dinner because so-and-so's doing stuff. Their things are stolen and broken. Symptoms of depression because some of the parents could be suicidal, and we need to be very aware so that we don't drop the ball on that, so we can guide a parent to get professional help. It's caused by low serotonin. There's a whole lot more symptoms of depression. I just picked out the ones that we can see from the outside, okay? Because, it's like low sexual drive. Well, I don't know, stuff like that. So I just picked out the ones we can see. You can't see low serotonin, but we're feeding them, so that'll fix that part. But lack of sense of humor, I try to be silly. And if they're not laughing, maybe they were distracted, but all day there's no laughter. Inability to focus, they're scattered, low problem solving skills. They keep going, Miss Heather, I can't get my child to brush her teeth. How do you get your children to brush their teeth? And you know what? Heather knows how to get a child to brush her teeth. So she has a lot of great ideas. Then they'll be like, Mr. David, how do you get a child to brush their teeth? Well, David has completely different ideas than Heather does because he's raised different children. Children are all different. Miss Lisa, how do you get children to brush their teeth? And then you have a whole different idea than the other two. Then they come to me and they say, I am so confused. I asked your team and they all gave me different answers and I don't know what the answer is, and I don't know. Did you train these people? Do they know what they're doing? I'm like, absolutely, they know what they're doing. But what I have you do, because if they're asking you parenting questions in the afternoon when we have family bonding activities, what are they not doing?
Family bonding.
Absolutely, they're not with their family. They're trying to corner you. When their child's in the intervention room, they're supposed to be taking a break and recharging. They're trying to gather parenting information instead of in the morning in class. They're not recharging. So what I want you to do is get one of the 3x5 cards. We got a whole lot of them and you'll have them in the baskets, and say, oh, you want to have some ideas on brushing the teeth? Let me write that down. Okay, toothbrushing, so-and-so, and put their name on there. I'll make sure I give this to Nancy. She'll cover it in class. So you can step out of there real quickly and get back to what you need to do and get them back to what they need to do. But we want to make sure they feel heard. And I'm not saying that I think you're too stupid to tell somebody how to get their kid to brush their teeth. I'm just saying, for all the different layers and levels of what's going on, the best way to do it is quickly. Let me write that down for you, because that is an important question. You validate them and their need, and then I'll give it to whoever the parent trainer is, would then cover that, and we cover it in the training each morning. All right. Suicidal thoughts, hopeless feeling, and low energy. So because they have hopeless feeling, the reason they have hopeless feeling is because they have low problem solving skills. So when people get to that level, they feel hopeless because they can't see any solutions to how awful things are. And they start feeling like it's just gonna be this way and I can't live with this, it's miserable. So I might as well just, do myself in because I can't continue. They don't see the light at the end of the tunnel or even ideas. And they have low energy. Low energy. If you go in a house, somebody has depression, the dishes are in a giant heap, the laundry's not washed, stuff is everywhere. And you know what people do when they walk in the house with a mom that has depression? They say, you need to clean this up. If you had a friend that had cancer and their house was a wreck and you went over there, what would you do?
Clean house.
Yeah. We'd wash some dishes while we're visiting and throw in a casserole and run a laundry load and, while we're chatting. We'd absolutely. Depression's the same. You push at somebody who has depression, you could push them right over. Okay, watch for depression in the parents. And for us, don't be trying to stay up all night. Get some sleep. I know we like to chat and everything. Goals here at camp. For each child to shift gears in their brain to logic. This part of the brain we want it turned on and thinking, reasoning within 7 minutes by the end of camp. Okay, the first night, it's not 7 minutes. It could be up to 48 hours that they're stuck with us because they can't remember what they said or what they did. And that's okay. They can take it as long as they want. The parents need a break. Our first 2 days, we want the parents resting, recharging, renewing, catching their breath So if the child gets stuck for that much time, you know, as a tough kid, and those parents are pooped, and we want them resting. So no worries, we don't have to push them out. But we want them each time to get in and out of there faster. We're not pushing them to do it, we're just looking at it as it unfolds. And you know what? Now, with the number of camps that we've done since the year 2000, our number is now up to 24 children that could not make it within 7 minutes by the end of camp, out of 5,000. And those children had so much drugs and alcohol before they were born, they had a lot of organic damage. But they were a lot faster processing, turning from out of their mind, berserk, out of control, to I can think straight, I can calm myself, I can deal with things a lot faster. They just didn't make the 7 minutes, but our goal is 7 minutes. All right, we want each parent to have hope, like Heather shared this morning, new tools so they know how to handle the lying, stealing, spitting, and peeing, and a support system for after camp. So we put them together. So, but with the toddlers, when they come in and they're upset, we have them sit on their feet facing out, and you tap their shoulders slowly, left, right, left, right. Okay, it's a EMDR kind of a movement to calm. If you do it quickly, it speeds up their heart rate. Okay, so you do that, and they're like, oh, and then you start feeling them relax and calm. They stop the yodeling. Then you reach over and you get their hands and you cross their arms up like this, and you hold their hands and you say left, right, left, right. So you're teaching them to tap themselves. This is called butterfly taps. We call it eagle wings because we're doing eagle stuff. So we get them going left. Little ones do, because the coordination's off, so you got to get them going left, right. Okay, so then you slowly, they get the gist of it. You say, okay, now you do it, and get them to do it, because it's very, very calming when they're all upset. Okay, and so then they do it for a little bit, and you can feel them. They're up against your legs, and you can feel them. And then you say, okay, stand up. Let me see you. And we do what's called a ham sandwich. It used to be called a hand sandwich, where you put your hand out flat, and they put their little hands one and then the other, like crossed in your hand, and then you put another hand on top. And it isn't to make like a wrestling match, you're holding them down. It's because the little ones do like, and I was going, and then my mother was, and then after that, my daddy, and then I was trying to find where the dog was, and I couldn't remember what was happening. So then I asked my brother if there were napkins, and he said that we were having tuna fish, and I didn't know if that was good. So, you know, they're all over the place. So we do a ham sandwich. We're heart to heart with them. We're containing the movement so they can focus. And we say, with soft eyes, soft voice, what happened? I was not nice to my mother. Good job telling the truth. What was it you did that wasn't nice? They have to be specific. I spit in her food. Good job telling the truth. So what are you going to do nice for your mommy? One little girl. She said, I'm going to give her a mustache. a mustache? Uh-huh. What does a mustache look like? Like this? Oh, yeah, a massage. All right, good. And there was another. I can tell you stories about all 5,000 of them, to tell you the truth, but there was a little girl. My little sister was kind of round, and I love her very dearly, but she had a lot of struggles. And this little girl at camp looked just like my little sister, with the little ponytail and kind of round. And so she said, I'm gonna sing a song to my mama. I said, well, can you sing? Are you a pretty good singer? I don't want your mom to have to listen to a song that's not nice. Or like, you know, I'm gonna rip your heart out when you die in the gutter. You know, what's the deal here? She said, no, I can sing pretty good. All right, well, let me hear you sing Happy Birthday. So she sang Happy Birthday. It was pretty on tune. It was, you know, pretty good. And what song do you want to sing? Well, it's such and such. I learned it at Vacation Bible School. Okay, that should be pretty safe, not whatever. So we get there, and you know, we're doing the thing, and then she says, may I please sing you a song, Mom? Mom says, well, sure, that'd be fine. I said, okay, go ahead, sing the song. So I stepped back so I'm not interfering. and she's singing about God, but it fits so perfect. I don't remember what the song was, but it was about you saved my heart and you fill my heart and you love me, and I'm totally losing it. I'm like, so glad this child and mother can't see me. They're focused on each other, but I was like, oh man, I wanted to take that one home. All right, so goals are 7 minutes for the children that each parent, we're going to fill them up. The children are going to fill them up and start giving back. Goals for all of you, the team, to know that you've made a difference in the lives of others in great need, and that the world is going to be at a better place because of all the time, energy, and heart that you gave. Because they absolutely will be different after this week. You will make changes in their brain, in their body, in their hearts. The parents, the children, doing what we can to stop the violence in our country and in our world. You guys are doing it. You're not talking about it, you're doing it. You're giving that effort that we need to see a lot more. We need camps in every state, every week.